give us for people on watching this show that are sort of liberty curious and they've heard this word libertarian if they're watching this show. What is the philosophy of libertarianism? I'm trapped on an elevator with you. I can't get away. What's the pitch?
Libertarianism entails the right to do whatever you want in your life, so long as your conduct is peaceful and non-fraudulent. So you should be free to engage in any peaceful conduct that is conduct that does not involve the initiation of force or fraud against another person. So that necessarily means that people ought to be discussing and debating, and this, if I were accorded the honor of the presidential nomination in the Libertarian Party, this would be my aim, is to have every American discussing and debating two questions. What does it really mean to be free? And two, what is the legitimate role of government in a free society? So libertarians say that freedom is, I define, as the right to do whatever you want so long as your conduct is peaceful, and that the role of government is to protect the exercise of the way people are choosing and limit itself to going after the violent people, the murderers, the rapists, the thieves, and so forth, establishing a judicial system where people can resolve disputes peacefully, and protecting the nation against an invasion as compared to all this foreign interventionism that takes place. Well, people might generally say, Jacob, that sounds pretty good. I can't argue with that overall philosophy. Well, the rub comes in on the specific applications, because we would get rid of all mandatory charity programs. Because mandatory charity is not charity in our books. It's also not freedom, that you have a right to keep everything you earn and you decide what to do with it. So we get rid of Social Security. We don't try to reform it. Medicare, get rid of it. Get rid of every mandatory socialist program. The drug war.
The entire social safety net is
no safety net
not
at all.
An appropriate role for government.
Exactly. And it's also because freedom works. It's not just a morally sound philosophy, but you can trust people to exercise freedom in such a way that most children and grandchildren will step up to the plate and help their parents and grandparents in times of need. If they don't, the church groups will, the voluntary groups, foundations, and so forth. We've got to recapture that faith and freedom in ourselves and others that once characterized this nation. The drug war. We would get rid of all drug laws on all drugs, no matter how harmful, opioids, cocaine, heroin, and so forth, because you have a right to ingest whatever you want to ingest, no matter how bad it is, without being punished by the state for it. And also because it's practical. Drug legalization is the only thing that's going to restore a sense of peace and harmony to our society as compared to the drug war. Open borders, the free movements of goods and people across borders, because, again, this is peaceful conduct. It's the exercise of the pursuit of happiness, one of the natural God-given rights that Jefferson talks about in the Declaration. And it works. It's the only way to get rid of this perpetual immigration crisis that has brought death, suffering, and a police state.